Thanks everybody for checking out the video. Common Sense Sanctuary is my channel. If you like what you hear, you can subscribe to the channel below for more videos, future videos. If you have any questions or comments or have a subject that you'd like to hear my take on, you can email me at commonsensesanctuary@gmail.com. It can be on any subject, politics, sports, foreign policy, anything like that. And I'd be happy to try to put my common sense twist on it. Today I want to tackle racism. It's going to be a little bit longer video, but hopefully well worth the listen. I want to start out with what's going on in America with our children and racism, and why I believe that racism is becoming such a prominent issue again in this country, louder than it's been in 20 years even. And that is because we are raising a generation of children to believe that if you're a minority, you are a victim, and if you are white, you are a monster. White children are being taught at this point by most of the educational system that you are born with a privilege and that you are a monster because you are naturally prone to basically step on people of a different race. And that's just not true. Minorities, especially black children, are being raised to believe that they are a victim, that they're a natural born victim, that they're naturally prone to being treated wrong. And instead of teaching the children to earn things on their own merit and to work hard and to never have excuses and face everything head on, they're being taught that they are a victim and that the only thing that they need to fight is the white man. That's what's going on right now with the children. And as it sits, what we're growing up into, what this generation is growing up into is, for example, Miss 24-year-old Azealia Banks. She's a militant rapper who has obviously a very dangerous view. And unfortunately, I've come to find out that this is not a view all her own. This is a view that's being shared by many black people in this country, and it is a very dangerous view as well. I got into a Twitter war with Azealia Banks where she had started out by saying she's so sick and tired of hearing all lives matter. And I proposed the question to her, well, would you much rather hear white lives matter? Is that what would be more acceptable? And she proceeded to respond to me and tell me how I needed to educate myself and how that all white wealth in this country is derived from slavery in this country, and how everything in this country, all the riches of this country are owed to her and all the black people. She proceeded to tell me how all she wanted was her riches and her money and her reparations. Her reparations. Let that soak in. This is a woman who's 24 years old, born in 1991, who believes she's owed something because of what happened to her ancestors hundreds of years, 150, 200 years ago. She believes she's owed something. And they want to take this, in her words, she wants her riches and she wants to go back to her African hunt. She proceeded to tell me how she doesn't want to be around any of us. She doesn't want to be around people like myself or any other white people. She thinks we should be all separated. So quit telling me that this is just a problem with white people who think we should be separated. This is a problem with black people who think we should be separated. These are people who cannot see themselves as equal one way or the other. It ain't just white people who think they're superior. There are black people who think they're superior. And on top of it, they're more dangerous because they think they're owed something. They believe that we owe them something, and they're willing to try to take it from anyone who doesn't agree with them. That includes white, black, Hispanic, anyone who has value and does not agree with their statement that they are owed everything. They want to take it from you. Now, what also feeds the fire here, this dangerous fire, are the fact that now you can't use a word in this country without it being racist. You can't use the word thug. Adjectives are now, any adjective used to describe anyone is now racist, because it's a negative word. That's the problem. It's not just an adjective. It's any word that's used to negatively describe anyone when used to describe a black person is now racist. And this is a direct quote from someone else that I'd had a Twitter war that was a friend of Azealia Banks, who told me that basically it's okay for him to use the word thug. It's okay for him to use the word nigga. It's okay for him to use those words because he's black. But if I were to use the word thug, then I'm a racist. And so, and he proceeded to ask me, he proceeded to tell me, call him a thug and see what happens. And so the natural response is, so if I were to use the word thug when having a discussion with you, you're going to act like a thug. Therefore, you're a thug. Is it because you're black? No, it's because you're an idiot. It's because you want to act like an idiot and you want to resort to acting like an idiot. And so therefore, when you want to react that way and act that way, you are a thug. It doesn't matter what color you are. I know a lot of nappy-headed people that aren't black. But if you use the word nappy now, you're a racist. We've gotten so politically correct in this country that Webster was a racist. His entire dictionary will be racist before too long. This is getting absolutely ridiculous. You want to know who the real racists are in this country? You want to know who is responsible for segregation? You want to know who's responsible for trying to keep black people down or minorities down or anyone that doesn't agree with them down for that matter? Look no further than the left. Liberals and socialists. Anyone who says that you can be given something for free as long as you do what we tell you to. Let's think about that. How were slaves treated? As long as slaves did what they were told to do and did it the way they were told to do it, they had free housing, they had meals, they had a roof over their head, they had clothes, they had all the things they needed, and it was disguised in the things that they needed, but they didn't have a choice, and they knew it back then. See, here's the thing now. You're not punished with a whip. You're not punished by getting whipped, chained to a tree and whipped. No, you're going to get punished by getting those necessities that you should be working for, and this goes for anyone that's black or white or any race out there. This is a social segregation and a social discrimination that is prominently exposed in minorities. Because minorities, not only that, are being taught to believe that they're a victim. So if they're taught to believe they're a victim and that they're owed, then they're going to welcomely receive these free things. All the while they're being told, if you do this thing the way I want it done, I'll give you everything you need. Praise be to the government that's going to give you everything you need. But the moment you step out of line, oh, massa government, oh, massa liberal is going to take away your free stuff. Mr. Social inept, Mr. and Mrs. White person, black person, Hispanic person, anyone who is under their social thumb. But let's just look at it on the basis of race for just a minute. Okay? Those of you who want to talk about racism and people that are willing to hold you down, it's not the Republican Party. It's not the conservatives. Conservatives want everyone of every race to be successful. They want everyone of every race to be successful based on their merit, to be reminded with all of the success based on your merit, based on the things that you do, based on who you are. That's not what the liberals want. The liberals want a social elite. They want to hold all the power. See, they want you to be under their powerful thumb while they give you the things that you need that you so graciously open your hands to. So if you want to talk about racism and segregationism, and you want to talk about who's doing that kind of thing and who's being discriminatory, you got to look no further than the left. Social programs and things that give you things because you haven't worked for them, they're not doing anything other than teaching you how to be dependent. How do we solve this problem? It's amazing to me that I look back and I see so many successful well-dressed black people in history who were able to make something of themselves. And why? Because even back in a time when black people were being mistreated because of the color of their skin, and because they were slaves, and beyond that, in between the freeing of the slaves and the civil rights era, there were so many black people who were successful because they were taught to fight for what they earned. Earn what you need. Earn what you want in life. Get yourself to where you be. There were black business owners. There were black plantation owners. There are black people who owned. There were black people that got rich long before the civil rights movement. Why? Because they were raised and taught to earn your way through life. No one's going to give you anything. Fast forward to 2015, and our children are now being taught that if you're a victim, look no further than us, the liberals. We'll give you everything you need. You don't have to do anything for it, but be our servants. Look out, because old massa liberal and old massa socialist, they'll figure out a way to keep their thumb over you. They'll take away what they have given you. If you don't want to be a slave to anybody, whether you're white, whether you're black, because here's the thing. It doesn't matter what color you are and what race you are a slave when you are indebted to someone who has given you your basic needs in life. You want to stop racism? Government officials, our leaders, let's go ahead and start teaching our children again what it means to earn your way through life, no matter what color you are, no matter what race you are. Parents, start to teach your kid, no matter what race you are, teach your kids to earn their way through life. Don't tell them that they're a victim. And it doesn't matter what's going on in their life. Teach them that they only have the soil to plant their seeds in. Don't curse the soil. This earth and this life is our soil. Plant your seed properly. Teach your children not to curse the soil. If they plant and it dies, replant. You only fail when you quit. You're not a victim. Quit trying to be a victim. Quit teaching your children to be a victim. Let's get back to the days where we could teach our children that they can be anything they want in this country, regardless of who they are, regardless of the color of their skin, and that's all there is to it. Quit teaching them to look for someone to blame. Thank you.